Okay, mashallah. I'll get into that point a bit later. I just want to ask about these things. Do you think that the normal Muslim, like as a woman, I'm asking you, uh, as far as I'm concerned, or in my surrounding or my environment, if a boy is going to study anywhere, it's a hurdle, but still it's kind of okay. But if a girl, a proper conservative or moderately conservative, like most of us are like that here. So if a girl from that family wants to study something which is kind of risky in today's environment, you know this environment today, the rape and eve teasing and all those stuff. So are is this scenario, like, is it just the hurdle, the obstacles, is it just in the Muslim community, or is it everywhere for women?
That's a very problem, I guess, because that's a very big.
I'll just add on, because what the media and other mainstream people focus is, or they spotlight onto, is that Muslim women are being subjugated and they have this specific hurdle. But I think that Indian society as a whole has that thing, except some metropolitan cities or some modern educated people. So what's your take on
Of course, you're right, because I'll come back to my experience the same in my school, because I see sisters, nuns, they were doing the same, but that's not a problem for the nation or for the common public or public consciousness to that matter, because it's not that what you are being done or what you do, it's that who is doing. If you are a Muslim, okay, that's a kind of operation for you. That is the thing. The mainstream narration is being given about Muslim, because in India, not in India, just take the case of world. How many? I mean, how many women leaders do we have? Just now you can count in your hand. So it's very less, but that is not a problem. You see, it is not the problem of the world. It's not considered to be the very problem. But when it comes to Islam, you see that it is the problem of Islam. So it's not about your attitude towards women. It's about Islam. So that is a very problem, I understand, because for me, Islam liberates people from human slavery, and or to say the power dynamic which works within the human beings, and it liberates to we are just slaves of God, and it makes all of us equal in front of Him. So, but as I've said, the world which places between us, around us, is so patriarchal that anything that fits into it, or anything that is, as this same patriarchal world is the base where all the other ideologies are placed, it will obviously have an effect on it. But when it is expressed, or when it is presented as only problem with Islam, that is where we need to, I mean, we need to criticize that, and we need to come up with better criticism against that, because the mainstream is trying its best to to what to say, to lessen the number of Muslims, or to that matter, to make Islam bad. So yeah, that is not the reason. I mean, it's so clear that people from every community, we have the Hathras case in front of us. She was never Muslim, but still people consider women as second citizen, or to matter, not even a citizen, not even a female. So that kind of thing is really happening, and not about Islam, I should say. For me, Islam is something which has a solution even to this situation. Yeah.
Okay, so when you told about the patriarchal society, I have a bit different understanding about that. Like back, 500, 600 or 1,000 years back, humans were like nomadic tribes, and they had to be protected from other stuffs, and also that the manliness that played an important role in the protection stuff. So that has continued till now, I feel so. And like, I'll put my question in this way. I recently heard a talk of Preeti Zinta, who is an actress and she owns an IPL team also, I guess. So where she says that women shouldn't depend on men, as in not father, not brother, not husband, and not son. She should be independent. And like obviously when it comes to independence, we know that it has its own hurdles and obstacles, but considering today's scenario, it's not a big deal to overcome that hurdles and obstacles. But if you consider a woman, there are many people dependent on her, rather than saying she is dependent. If you consider me, my father, my brothers, or my siblings and all, we are dependent on our mother. If she is not there, like I won't be the person who I am today. If I have seen someone in the society or in my surrounding who has whose mother is working and all those stuff, the kind of behavior, the nurturing stuff in him is a bit different, because he had been to nursery, then like day school and all those stuff. But we were in our mother's protection and benevolence. So don't you think that if we the narrative that the mainstream media is putting out, that women should be independent and all those stuff, the next generation will suffer, because she is the one guiding and nurturing the next generation. So she can put the mindset that the next generation has is hers, basically saying. So when someone else does that, don't you think that it will be a difficult thing, considering that today's world is patriarchal, so we need to be independent, and considering all those stuff.
Okay. My concern in this topic is not just about men and women. The thing is, for me, if this power dynamics, it's only about the power dynamics. It's not about dependence. Dependence, I guess, makes humans beautiful, and that is a real surviving tool with with which the world is going on. And I can't even imagine something which is like both male or female or any gender to that matter, depending on each other. That is the beauty of humanity, is what I personally believe. Now, but my problem with this issue, with this topic, is that when power dynamics works in between human beings. So it's not just about someone oppressing the other, but be it anyone, be it a Muslim or be it any human being for that matter. But you literally take the power of God within the human. And that's the problem with me. I mean, my problem with the state, my problem with the RSS, my problem with any of the liberals. They are doing the job of God by asserting power on us. That's not allowed, and that does not give me my freedom. But independence and freedom, I don't just see same thing. What she meant, I don't agree with her to an extent that uh, I don't even consider that the world can survive without depending on each other, because we are social beings, be it a girl or be it a man or anything. My problem is this power dynamics, and I was reading Aminawatu the other day and trying to explore more on Islamic, because uh, we have Sumaya, the first martyr of Islam. So she's my inspiration. So she was liberated when she became a Muslim. And I want to liberate myself as a Muslim. Why? We are wearing hijab. So I don't want to fit into this mainstream narration which defines liberalism or which defines freedom. As I think I have to correct myself that I am the most liberated one when I'm a Muslim, because I don't have to. I mean, I do. I just want to. I only prostrate in front of God and not any other human being. And what else can a human gain when?
Okay, I'll just interrupt you there. Like when it comes to the mainstream, what they talk about liberation is like they consider a female as a materialistic stuff, because to advertise or marketing, even in marketing, they need to be well groomed and the zero figure whatever, and the that kind of narration is there in the mainstream media. When being liberated, it's like wearing short clothes and all those stuff. So that's not the actual thing, right?
Yeah,
what what's
yes,
what do you say about
yeah, they are so hypocritical about that. Yes. you see the same example, like you see what is happening in a reel. She's just reduced to a what's happening in an advertisement, what's happening in the marketing place. The same thing happening. So it's so hypocritical about them. And the worst is that they are the spokesperson for women. That's the worst, I should say. Okay, you are hypocritical, that's enough. But then you want to be spokesperson also, and that is very annoying. So yeah, I guess whatever it comes to justice or to happiness, to peace, to gender problem, whatever, when you confine it to the earthly things, the whole worldly things, you can't find a solution. You won't get answers. So I guess that is what where I am, like thankful to Almighty that I'm a Muslim, that I get answers to these questions, and I am not distracted of being like be be the I am not distracted, or I am not oppressed by these new mainstream narrations. It does
Okay,
not do.
I remembered a tweet by Kangana Ranaut where she says that she has been struggling in the Islamic dominated Bollywood industry. Okay, so you tell that Islam is liberating, and yeah, it is liberating and all those stuff. Okay, so when it comes to the mainstream, it may it be political arena or economic expertise or the film industry for say, like there are Muslims. It's not that there are not there isn't any Muslim, but do you think they are representing the actual Islamic what do you call the fundamental ideologies there? If it was, if what you are saying is right, it is liberating. It, but the result, it's not practically been seen in the mainstream this thing area. So, what do you think that the fundamental Islamic belief has gone redundant, or is it that uh, it needs to be seen in a much different way, or is it that the Muslims are confining themselves to some other circle or not getting out of their comfort zone? What is the main problem there?
First of all, I am not going to judge they how Muslim they are, how much Muslim they are. That's beyond my conception. So I'm not going to do that. But as I've said, I'm taking my very example that I was a Muslim. I was Muslim back then, and I was given opportunities. I was given places. I was being accepted by the public consciousness. And you see, I went to theaters, and that is the most liberal places I should say is which existed in Delhi. So in that space itself, I was so happy, and I was so being accepted, and I was being appreciated. But then when I started wearing hijab, it's not the case. So when you start expressing that you are a Muslim, and when you have that change in you, people will react, or people have a problem with that. Now, why is that Muslims are not doing? I can't just judge them because for me, Islam was not just. Of course, it's fundamentals are there, but then Almighty has given allowed permitted the subjectiveness to the people, because my very experience in once when I went to Jama Masjid, people were namazing, and I see a foreigner doing another way, and me doing it in another way, and a North Indian doing it in an entirely different way. We three were talking to God, and we all were doing it sincere. I mean, Jama Masjid and people coming there, and nobody is gonna judge you. Nobody is gonna like uh,
Yeah, I
and
understand the personal relationship with God. Okay, that part we can't be judgmental. But considering the core ideologies, for example, in the economic sphere, for example, riba is haram. Okay, interest, it kind of what do you call, it oppresses the weak. Okay, why doesn't the narrative of such ideologies, like being liberated, that narrative of Islam doesn't come if Muslims were in that stream. That's what my question is, like, not the personal part. We
Because
cannot be judgmental, obviously, but why isn't that ideologies coming out? Why isn't that narrative coming out? That's
uh,
my question.
simply because you need to put effort. I mean, to be a Muslim, you need to put effort and you need to change yourself. You need to widen your thoughts. And yeah, you need to be your best of you. So that needs some effort, that needs some risk. And yeah, of course, you're risking a lot of things. And people need that eternal push to actually lose, which they consider to be the best once then. Because to say, I was very fond of my hair and I'm very confident about it. So when I just leave it and go sit in front of any of the crowd, I was that confident, you know. But then that is no more my confidence. So that was the thing which was very, I mean, that was my priority back then. But now I've sacrificed it. So it really needs sacrifice. But uh, end of the day, I guess fundamentals. The thing, many of the Muslims, I guess, they are okay with following fundamentals, but they confused that which are the fundamentals because we have that's a
Yeah.
lot of people need more to learn Quran. That's only solution.
Yeah, it's the even in the Islamic world, what I feel is the narrative is from one side. It's being sided because uh, nowadays the what do you call the web series Ertugrul, it's kind of showing a different face of Islam. So back then, for us, that kind of thing was kind of, what are they doing? And now we get an idea or the overall picture of it. And adding to that, the recent retirement, or she some actress known as Sana Khan, I guess. She has left the film industry, it seems. And back 2 years back or 1 year back, Zaira Wasim, she told, like, for an Islamic woman, it's not compatible in the film industry. So, what is the actual thing there? Any idea or any take on that?
I was thinking the other day, like when you look back to education or art or anything, it was the Muslims who started everything. Like we have a traveling, we started Renaissance or Algeria, anything started by the Muslims. But then now most of the things are not in our hands. So I guess we have slept for centuries in between. So that is the problem that has happened with the Muslim community. That's just a very subjective point of view. And now
Okay,
that
I'll
people, yeah, please, hello,
okay. I'll put it another way.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, please.
audible, right? Okay, I'll put it another way. Do you think that the thing which we talk, the personal relationship with God, which we cannot judge and we cannot say anything about it, if we be in that mainstream, does that thing get affected to some extent? Is it the case?
I get it. I think it influences a bit, but then uh, it is uh, it is it is obviously interconnected. But I mean, I started regularly praying just I mean 5 years back or something. Like it was my choice. I have done prayers. I was doing namaz every day 5 times, but that was for someone else, and it was not for me personally. But when it became my choice, it was a thing which gives me power that I have someone to rely upon, or that really filtered me every time I go in the mass. So that will be later expressed in how I uh, deal with the reality. Uh, so coming back to my point, like as I've said, that people have been, we have slept a little some of the centuries. That was a time when European, Western, or to say the mainstream, what we so-called the mainstream, what we say now, got the power, and then innovation became the something so worrying. So people started considering themselves awkward or something subversive. So they are no more, they were no more proud to be a Muslim in a public platform because the innovations are like that. You're Muslim, you're bad. You're Muslim, you're oppressed. You're Muslim, you're ugly. I see. I mean, when it comes to Muslim man, your Muslim man is a body which is so violent and who has got such a lot of sexual frustration. That's an innovation the mainstream gives. When it comes to female, you are oppressed. You don't have voice for yourself. That's thing people are being taught, and this thing is repeated so much that we even ourselves consider like that. But I guess the power we feel within ourselves when we are Muslim should be expressed. Only then people, I mean,
It
because
should resonate out.
yeah,
Yes.
because we have slept a long, I mean, for a long time, we need to put more effort to take it back.